and welcome to the Main Street Fort Worth Art Festival.
Oh, are you live?
No.
Oh.
Hello and welcome to the Main Street. Hello and welcome to the Main Street Fort Worth Art Festival. I have heard from artist after artist that this show is the best of the best. Is it? Let's take a look inside the tent. The Main Street Fort Worth Art Festival takes place in the heart of downtown Fort Worth, an active urban working area surrounded by tall buildings and busy streets. 400,000 persons are expected to attend this 4-day event that takes place every April. The festival hosts over 200 high-quality artists in a variety of mediums. There's interactive art, live music, food, and some serious art buyers. As the title of the event suggests, the event runs along Main Street from 2nd to 9th, with artists also on 3rd, 4th, and 5th, which is where we were. 6th Street is still open for cross traffic on Thursday and Friday, but blocked on Saturday and Sunday with large stationary vehicles. We drove 1,000 miles to get here, so we made a trip out of it, even arriving a couple days early to explore downtown Fort Worth, take in the Blue Bonnet Trail during peak season, find our booth location, and check out the festival as it was being set up, which was pretty darn cool. Check-in begins at the Masonic Temple, where in stages, artists are positioned in the order in which they are expected to load in. The event provided us with a nice 3D map of the check-in location in advance, and a map with directions to our booth location when we arrived at the temple. There is no pace car. We just happened to be in pole position, so we were first to discover upon arrival at the 5th Street entrance that an Uber driver was parked in the path of load-in and was casually unloading his luggage. We waited through one entire light and then decided to just make our way through because people were behind us waiting to get into their booth location. We quickly realized how narrow 5th Street is, especially compared to Main Street, especially with tents are already set up and tethered to the street using large eye bolts. We were told to drive on the sidewalk while avoiding the fixed street signs. My trailer is a 5x8 with wheels that extend out another 10 or 12 inches on each side, which is not uncommon, but it meant I had no choice but to drive over one of the eye bolts, which we did very carefully. I mention all of this not as a complaint, but as a cautionary tale. If you are applying for this event and considering where might be a good fit for you, artists were expected to reverse their way out of these tight quarters after everyone was set up. If this seems stressful or impossible given the size of your vehicle, you might consider being on Main Street. Main Street is nice and wide. You could easily get a vehicle down here. Some of these challenges are expected, and it's the only area of the event that I'm critical of and believe needs improvement. Here's a similar trailer on Main Street with no problems. Once we were set up though, the event was smooth as silk and the crowds were out. Thursday, as expected, was the slowest of the 4 days, and it did rain a few times, but we did meet a lot of people that day. If you're a numbers person, here are some to consider. I don't see people as numbers, but as someone with a background in information technology, I spend a lot of time in spreadsheets and non-artsy areas, which is why I find creating artwork so fulfilling. It's a creative outlet that is very different from my work in IT. Over the course of 4 days, we did experience our share of rain, some that was heavy enough to send patrons scrambling for cover. At times, it felt like we were in a wind tunnel, a side effect of the tall buildings, I imagine. But many locals said, "That's Texas for you," and just went about their business, continuing to shop. Even on the coldest days, some people wore shorts as if it were just another day in paradise. I only saw one casualty of the weather, and the next day they were set up again and working, which was kind of surprising actually. If you are an artist considering taking part in this event, let me mention a few things to you. The amenities area on the second floor of the courtyard was like no other, with an endless array of snacks, both healthy and unhealthy, ice-cold drinks that were constantly stocked, and just well managed by helpful volunteers. The hospitality area restrooms were always very clean and private, but they also offered climate-controlled portable toilets at street level, and I found those to be clean all the time as well. There was a visible security presence which was much appreciated and occasionally needed by volunteers when the nights came and folks had a bit to drink. They offer storage for artists, a professional name tag, and a useful guide for festival goers. And here's something unique. Every time a judge came to your booth, they handed you a card so you knew they were there. I wish I had been able to capture video of the crowds when they were at their thickest because they were enormous. I was able to snap a few pictures to show the crowd size, still pictures, but my wife and I were so busy in the tent that getting away to capture video of the heaviest crowds on Saturday wasn't even possible, and that was a great thing. If you want to see us on our last day here at Main Street, Fort Worth, without the rain, come down right now. It's almost 10 a.m. People are opening up and it's not raining. Later today, rain. That video did not age very well, I promise. So what did we conclude? Is Fort Worth really the best of the best? Yeah, I would say it is. The booth fee is steep at $950, but the supportive local community makes up for it. Even in other events that are exceptional, none checked off as many boxes as Fort Worth. From an excellent hospitality area and communication to a supportive local community and well-organized management, Fort Worth takes the brisket. We are grateful to have been accepted in 2023, and we are thankful for the volunteers who gave their time and energy to the event. Thank you to the Fort Worth police officers, and our most sincere thanks to the many who graced us by stepping into our tent to take a closer look at what we had to offer. We appreciate all of you. Safe travels, and we hope to see you again in the future.